Guys, I don't know what problem I have with my YouTube channel. I don't know. Please bear with me. Hello, Ashwin. Can you see the screen? Ashwin from the YouTube. Okay, Pradeep. So, am I visible there? I don't know. Something is wrong here. Okay. Okay, Pradeep. So, am I visible there? Okay, chalo. Something was wrong there. Okay, guys. Hello, everyone. So, hello, everyone from the people in the YouTube also. So already I have wasted a lot of time because there was some network issue. So let's not waste our more time and let's start with the class. Okay. So hello, good evening, everyone. So as you know, we had already started human reproduction and we had completed the spermatogenesis. Okay. So one of the method in gametogenesis, that means the formation of the male gamete, that we have studied in the last class. In today's class, we are going to study about the oogenesis. Okay, so how follicles grow, how actually the secondary oocyte is released. So all of these things. Okay. So before starting anything, let me just take the technical check. Okay, I'm launching the poll for technical check. Just answer it quickly within few seconds. I'm not giving much time for this. Okay, I don't know. Since morning, I'm having a lot of internet issue because there's a lot of rain here. Okay, so because of rain and all this environmental things. Okay, I'm ending the poll. I guess most of you are able to hear me properly. Okay, so let's start the class. So today we're going to discuss about how follicles are gonna grow and what are follicles and how actually the secondary oocyte or egg is produced. Okay, so there's a question from the last class. I want you to answer it correctly. Okay, so in humans, male germ cells differentiate into dash at the end of first meiotic division in spermatogenesis. Okay, options are spermatid, spermatogonium, secondary spermatocyte, primary spermatocyte. I'm launching the poll now. Okay, so you have only 40 seconds to answer. Okay, you can answer this within 40 seconds if you're clear with the concept. Okay. Okay, so what you need to understand here is one beautiful thing. Okay, concentrate here. At the end of first meiotic division, remember the process or flow chart of the spermatogenesis. Amit, C or D? C or D? You can't say both C and D. No, Amit, you're wrong. Okay. So I had given 40 seconds. I'm ending the poll now. Okay. Very good, Anu and Gopika. Very good. Okay. So as you can see, 45% people have chosen option C and 29% people have chosen option D. 11% people have chosen option B and 16% people have chosen option C. Sorry, A. Okay. So let us discuss here which is the actual option. Okay. So in humans, male germ cells. So what they're referring to male germ cells are nothing but spermatogonium cells. Okay, they're referring to spermatogonium cells. So these spermatogonium cells are diploid. Okay, so now they're undergoing meiotic division. What is the end product that you get in the end of meiotic division? So as you know, spermatogenesis starts with the spermatogonium. Okay, so spermatogonium, which is diploid. So this will undergo many mitotic divisions. Okay, so many mitotic divisions. So this spermatogonium will undergo mitotic divisions to give rise for the primary spermatocyte. Okay, you get the primary spermatocyte. So what is happening here? Here, mitosis is happening. Okay, mitosis is equational division. Now, from spermatogonium to primary spermatocyte is called multiplication phase. है ना? It is called multiplication phase. There are three phases: multiplication phase, growth phase, and then maturation phase. Now, so let me take one of these primary spermatocytes. So this will start to grow. Okay, so this is what this is called growth phase. Okay, so this is growth phase. So this primary spermatocyte will undergo meiotic divisions now. Okay, so from this primary spermatocyte, we get two cells. So these two cells are nothing but secondary spermatocyte. Secondary spermatocyte. So these spermatocytes are haploid. So always remember. Okay, so these are haploid, but these primary spermatocytes are diploid. Why? Because here meiosis 1 is started. Okay, meiosis 1. Okay, so from this, from this meiosis 1, we get again 4 haploid cells. So these 4 haploid cells are nothing but called as spermatids. Okay, so these are called as spermatids. So this is happening by a process called as meiosis 2. Okay, here meiosis 1 and here meiosis 2. So these from primary spermatocyte to spermatid, this process is called as maturation phase. Okay, so this is called as maturation phase. Okay, so this is the first product from the meiosis 1. You get the 2 spermatocytes, and from secondary spermatocytes, you get the spermatids. Okay, so eventually these spermatids will get transformed itself to become the sperms or spermatozoa. Now you tell me, so from spermatogonium, cells are differentiated. Okay, at the end of the first meiotic division, we are getting what? At the end of first meiotic divisions, we are getting secondary spermatocyte. So the answer for this question is C, secondary spermatocyte. Okay, so this spermatogonium is nothing but the germ cells. So these are male germ cells that are actually undergoing division. These are like mother cells, so this is out of option. Then spermatid is actually a haploid cell, so which is going to transform and become the sperm. So this is also not the option. So प्राइमरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट कब आ रहा है? जब माइटोसिस डिवीजन होने के बाद जो आ रहा है ना, 2 cells from one spermatogonium, those cells are primary spermatocyte. Okay, so I hope this answer is clear to you. Now, in the process of spermatogenesis, first maturation division is called mitotic division, reduction division, equational division, none of this. I'm launching the poll for this question. Ma'am, you have told about germinal cuboidal epithelium. Is it spermatogonium divided from epithelium? Chirant, no. See, spermatogonium doesn't divide from germinal epithelium. Remember this. Okay, spermatogonium are actually descended into the seminal vesicle from yolk sac. Okay, always remember, beta, let me write here, from yolk sac. From yolk sac, actually spermatogonium is descended. Okay, both spermatogonium and oogonium. Spermatogonium and oogonium They're getting descended. Okay. So yes, Harsha, you have raised hand. If you have any doubts, you can answer. So oogonium is also not produced from the germinal epithelial of the ovary, whereas spermatogona is also not produced from the germinal epithelium. Okay, but they are descended from the yolk sac of the fetus. Okay, I'm ending the poll now. Your time is done. So let me share the results. So result is somewhat like this. Okay, so 48% people have chosen option A, and 33% people have chosen option D, B, and 10% people have chosen option C and D. I didn't get answers from YouTube. Okay, let me stop sharing this. Okay, so let us discuss which is actually the correct answer for this question. See, so in the process of spermatogenesis, first maturation division. Okay, so maturation division means what? In maturation phase, okay, so in maturation phase, there are two divisions. है ना? So there are two divisions. So there are two divisions. So which are those divisions? Let me go back and let me show you this. Okay. So here in the maturation phase, you can see here. Okay, so this is the maturation phase. So here meiosis 1 is the first maturation division. Meiosis 2 is the second maturation division. Okay, always remember this. Okay, meiosis 1 is first maturation division. Meiosis 2 is second maturation division. They are said as maturation division. Why? Because that is happening in the maturation phase. Okay, so let me write here. Okay, so first meiosis 1 is actually the first maturation division. First maturation division. So similarly, meiosis, what did I write? Meiosis is, okay, so similarly, meiosis 2 is called second maturation division. So here what is happening? Both the divisions are related with the meiosis. That is, it is reductional division. Okay. So mitotic division is happening where? In the time of, grow. What is that? Sorry, multiplication phase. You can see here. Okay. So mitosis is happening in the multiplication phase. Okay. So here mitotic division is also wrong, equational, because both are one and the same. These are same. Okay, these are same. Hence, these are all wrong. D is also not the option. So the answer for this question is B, reductional division. Okay, so the answer for this question is B. Did you get the point? Do you have any doubts here? Ma'am, why in the book given like spermatogonia is immature? Is it, Chiran? I don't know its reason, Chiran. Okay. So I will get back to you with this. Okay, why they have given here? Usually in NCRT they make few mistakes also, but I'll get back to you with this. Okay, so reductional division is the answer. Why? Because first maturation division and second maturation division are happening in the meiosis. Okay, in the maturation phase. Now, the spermatids are transformed into sperm by a process called spermiation, implantation, insemination, spermiogenesis. Okay, so I'm launching the poll for this question. I'm expecting answers from the YouTube guys also. Okay, let's discuss. Okay, guys, I'm going to give only 40 seconds and that is done. I'm ending the poll now. Okay. So your time is done. Let me share the results. So 76% people have chosen option D and 14% people have chosen option A. और इक्का दुक्का बच्चों ने B and C को भी choose किया है. Okay. So what is here? So let me tell you something. Okay. From spermatogonium to spermatids, according to your NCERT. Okay, to spermatids, the process is actually called as spermatogenesis. Okay, now, so this is from spermatids to spermatozoa. Okay, spermatozoa are also called as sperm. So this process is actually called as spermiogenesis. Okay, then from sperms, these mature sperms that we have got, this will be embedded. Okay, sperm ka jo head hai, those will be embedded inside the Sertoli cells. Okay, they will be embedded in the Sertoli cells. So somewhat like this. Okay, so if this is the Sertoli cell, so here okay, so like this it will be embedded. Okay, so this separation of sperm from the Sertoli cells, okay, or you can say the freeing of sperms from the Sertoli cells, this process is actually called as spermiation. तो क्या होता है बेटा, जब पूरा प्रोसेस होके हमें स्पर्म मिलता है ना, स्पर्म के पास तो कुछ नहीं होता, राइट, it doesn't have any food material, so it depends on Sertoli cell for the food and nutrition. Hence what it will does, it will put its entire head inside the Sertoli cell so that it extracts the nutrition. Okay, so after extracting all the nutrition and it gets matured, so after that sperm will get separated from the Sertoli cell and it will travel into the epididymis, and then from epididymis and it will be stored in the ampulla, and then at the time of ejaculation the sperms will be released out. Okay, so this process of separation of sperms from the Sertoli cells is called as spermiation. Okay, so now you have heard about the three processes. Okay, one is spermatogenesis, one is spermiogenesis, another one is spermiation. So now you tell me which is the answer. Okay, so spermatids are transformed into sperm by a process called as spermiogenesis. The answer is D. Okay, so I hope you have studied this in the last class. Okay, so what is spermiation? As I told you, sperms will get separated itself from the Sertoli cell. As they get mature, they travel and will be stored in the epididymis, and again some of the sperms will be traveled into the ampulla region in the male part. I hope you know that vas difference के आगे ampulla होता है, वहां पे भी store होते हैं, epididymis में भी store होता है. Okay, so spermiation is the separation process, which is actually not the answer. Implantation is what? Implantation is nothing but attachment of the blastocyst to the uterus. Okay, so that is implantation. So this is nowhere related here because this is after fertilization process. Then what is insemination? Insemination is referred to the copulation, that means coitus. Okay, so the process of sexual intercourse is actually called as insemination. Answer for this question is spermiogenesis. Why is it not clear? लास्ट क्लास में तुम लोगों ने पढ़ा था ना बेटा, क्यों क्लियर नहीं हुआ है क्या? Okay, so now let us enter into the understanding or study of the folliculogenesis. So let me tell you something. So follicle development and the egg development will happen simultaneously. Always remember this. Okay, क्या होता है? फॉलिकल के अंदर एग होता है, ठीक है? तो एक फॉलिकल होता है, फॉलिकल के अंदर एक एग होता है. Okay, egg means we actually call it as secondary oocyte. Okay, so this process, okay, both the development of egg and both the follicle actually is happening simultaneously. So development of egg is actually called as oogenesis. Okay, and the development of follicle is actually called as folliculogenesis. Okay, so folliculogenesis. Now, look at this structure here that is given below. So this is nothing but the structure of ovary. I had told you in structure of ovary, there are two parts. Okay, in the stoma, there are two parts. One is outer cortex and inner medulla. Medulla contains all the blood vessels, that is veins and arteries, and in the cortex region, you contains the follicles. I had told you about this. So now, see, these follicles are the ones which actually carry the secondary oocyte. Okay, so you can see here, these are the primordium follicles. Okay, so these are the primordium follicles. इसका मतलब है अभी ये छोटा बच्चा है, ये follicle बनने वाला है. Primordium means कोई भी चीज का primitive structure. Okay, so I had told you about the primordium stem, primordium flower, primordial leaf. ऐसे ही यहाँ पे primordial follicle. Okay, so this primordial follicle will become follicle in the future days. Okay, so this follicle has the primary oocyte in it. Always remember, primary follicle contain primary oocyte. Okay, so it contains primary oocyte. So first we are going to study about the folliculogenesis. Okay, हम लोग अच्छा as you know, it's very heavy raining here, so there is some network issue. So I hope it is rectified now. Okay. Okay. So primary oocyte is present in the primordial follicle, and so these primordial follicle will change itself into the primary follicle, then secondary follicle, then tertiary, and then it converts into the mature Graafian follicle. So let me write here. Initially, it will be primordial or primordium follicle. ठीक है, तो primordium से पहले क्या होता है? Primary follicle बन जाता है. ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद secondary follicle. After that, you get tertiary follicle. After that, that structure will convert into the mature Graafian follicle. So what is Graafian follicle? Graafian follicle is the mature follicle. Okay, it is also called as ovarian follicle. Okay, so these pictures that you're looking on the screen, this, and this, these are the structures of follicle. These are live cells. These are live cells under the electronic microscope. Okay, so let me explain you these changes and the cells in the next slide. Okay, so now you can see here. There is nothing present there. Okay, don't worry, Harsha. Okay, so folliculogenesis, as you know, if you split the term, genesis means what? Synthesis or formation or making. Folliculo means nothing but follicle. Okay, so first of all, you need to understand what is follicle, है ना? तो आपको follicle का तो definition ही नहीं पता है. तो follicle का definition ये है. So follicle is actually called as, okay, so this is the primary oocyte surrounded by the granulosa cells. Okay, so let me write here. It is an oocyte surrounded by granulosa cells. So this is the definition of follicle. ठीक है, तो ये आपका follicle का definition हो गया. Now you look here, this is the primordial follicle. Okay, so this is the primordial follicle which contains primary oocyte. Okay, so look at this pink color structure that you're seeing is the primary oocyte. Now, okay, so now what is happening? This primary from primordium, okay, let me write here. So primordium follicle contain, what are the things that it contains? It contains primary oocyte plus one layer of granulosa cells, one layer of granulosa cells. Okay, so you can see here, this green color cells that you are seeing, this is nothing but called as granulosa cells. Okay, let me write here. Okay, so this green color cells are called as granulosa cells. Okay, so now, so this is the first change. Then what happens from primordium to primary? I told you granulosa cells start to originate. Okay, so primordium and primary follicle is nothing but very similar, but there is the formation of zona pellucida here. Okay, so remember this. Okay, so let me change. So primary follicle is almost similar to structure of primordium follicle. Okay, primordium follicle. The only difference is here there will be a origination of zona pellucida. Okay, so what is zona pellucida? Zona pellucida, आप यहाँ पे दिख रहा है black color का layer. Okay, so this black colored layer is actually called as zona pellucida. Okay, so zona pellucida is a layer between granulosa cells and primary oocyte. Okay, Bhairavi, oogonium cells are actually the mother cells, egg mother cells. I will explain better. Okay, just have patience here. Okay, so now after the primary follicle, you get the secondary follicle. है ना? तो क्या होता है secondary follicle में? Secondary follicle में granulosa cells starts to grow in many layers. Okay, so I will show you here. Many layers of granulosa cells arise. Granulosa cells. So you can see here. So this is secondary follicle. Many green color cells are you are seeing here. Okay, right? And there is a pink or you can say purple color of outer layer. Okay, that purple color is actually called as theca cells. Okay, so what is happening in secondary follicle? Many layers of granulosa cells, and towards the outer side, okay, outer side there will be a formation of theca cells layer. Okay, theca layer or theca cell layer. Okay, that is found, this purple color. Okay, so after this, what is the distinction in tertiary then? Okay, so in tertiary follicle, there will be a differentiation in theca layers. तो क्या होता है बेटा, theca layer ना actually divide कर जाता है two more layers में. Okay, so theca layer, so as you can say, this theca layer divided into two more layers. Okay, that is theca externa and theca interna. मैं आपको दिखाती हूँ बेटा next picture में theca interna. Okay, so these two layers from the theca and then more layers of granulosa cells. ठीक है, वो तो है. उसके बाद क्या हो रहा है? ये the formation of antrum. Okay, so here there is a formation of antrum. Formation of antrum. So what is antrum? Antrum is a cavity filled with fluid. Okay, so this is a cavity filled with fluid. Okay, so this is the cavity filled with fluid. You can see here, this structure is actually called as antrum. Okay, so this is actually called as antrum, and this structure is tertiary follicle. Okay, so this is tertiary follicle. So यहाँ पे antrum है, तो थीका लेयर डिवाइड हो गए and granulosa cells भी बहुत सारे हो गए. ठीक है? So this is the process. Now after tertiary follicle, what do you get is nothing but the last mature Graafian follicle. Okay, so after this you get the mature follicle. Mature, let me write here. So fifth part is nothing but mature Graafian follicle. Okay, so Graafian follicle. अभी देखो बेटा. So from primordium follicle to mature Graafian follicle is actually called as folliculogenesis. ठीक है? तो अभी look at this structure now. Look at this structure. ठीक है? अभी आपको ना एकदम crystal clear हो जाएगा एकदम बढ़िया से. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे देखो बेटा, प्राइमरी फॉलिकल में क्या था? प्राइमरी oocyte and granulosa, one layer of granulosa. So this primary follicle is almost equivalent to the primordium follicle. Okay, primordium follicle. So this is equivalent. ठीक है? तो ये हो गया आपका. So you can see here a layer of granulosa cells surrounding the primary oocyte. Okay, so after this, so actually there should be a presence of zona pallidum mentioned here. Okay, so यहाँ पे zona pallidum भी रहेगा. Okay, it's given here. हाँ, it's given here in the yellow color. ठीक है, yellow color में जो दिया है, so this is zona pallidum here. Okay, so in the secondary follicle, what is there? More layers of granulosa cells are arising, and then along with that, a new theca layer is present surrounding the follicle. So this is the theca cells. Okay, these blue color cells are theca cells. Okay, so this cortical granules. ये देखो बेटा, I will explain you this when I am explaining about the fertilization. Where exactly does this present? Right now you forget this. ठीक है, वो उलेमा के अंदर होता है, उसको मैं बाद में बोलती हूँ. Okay, so secondary follicle में theca cells are arising and more number of granulosa cells. Now, what is happening in the tertiary cells? In the tertiary cells, a fluid-filled cavity is seen that is called as antrum, and theca is divided into two layers. Okay, theca externa and theca interna. Okay, so theca interna and theca externa, and there will be many more number of granulosa cells are formed. Okay, so this browny black color cells that you are seeing, these are granulosa cells. Okay, तो यहाँ पे theca में दो layers होते हैं बेटा. ठीक है, so ये बाहर का जो है ना, बाहर का layer. Okay, so this is theca externa and this is theca interna. Okay, now this is the mature Graafian follicle. So I will show you the structure of mature Graafian follicle in the next slide. So now you tell me, did you understand the development of folliculogenesis, or you can say development of Bovarian follicle? Bovarian follicle, Graafian follicle, mature follicle, all are one and the same. Okay, don't get confused in the exam. Okay. Tanuja is saying, ma'am, please go a little slower. Okay, Tanuja. Okay, Rita. Right now. So now can you, what is that? Now you can differentiate, right? So abhi folliculogenesis is clear, I guess. Is there any doubt in the folliculogenesis now? So ये आपका primordium, ये primary में हो गया, ये यहाँ पे हो गया, and this here. Okay, do you have any doubts here? Anyone? Is there any wall between external and internal theca? No, Nandish, there is no wall. Okay, there is no wall in between external and internal theca. Okay, तो अभी what you are seeing here, this is actually the mature follicle. Okay, so this is mature follicle from where this oocyte is going to be released. Okay, so one thing you need to remember. Okay, एक चीज क्या है बेटा, यहाँ पे start जब हुआ था ना, so when it got started folliculogenesis, at that time it was, primary oocyte, but it is converted into secondary oocyte here. Okay, so this secondary oocyte ka conversion happen in the tertiary follicle. Remember, in tertiary follicle, secondary oocyte is formed. Okay, so how this actually formed, we are going to see this in the oogenesis. Don't worry, I will compare. एक ही स्लाइड में मैं कंपेयर करूंगी फॉलिकुलोजेनेसिस एंड oogenesis में, तब देख लेना. ठीक है, तो प्राइमोर्डियल फॉलिकल से प्राइमरी oocyte स्टार्ट हुआ था. इन टर्शियरी फॉलिकल सेकेंडरी oocyte was formed. Now let me tell you one more thing. What is this arthritic? Ma'am, please tell it this arthritic. So this is nothing but it is फॉलिक्यूलर एट्रेसिया. देखो बेटा, इसको ले लो, यहाँ पे मैं जो लिख रही हूँ ना, फॉलिक्यूलर एट्रेसिया. So what is this? This is nothing but the degeneration of follicles. See, at the time of puberty in the female, only 60 to 80,000 oogonium will be present. Okay, but at the time of origination, okay, when she is in the womb of the mother, तब कितने की millions में होते हैं. So what is indicating this? So there is, continuously loss of number of oogonia. Along with oogonia, there is also less number of oocytes. So this reduction in number of oogonia is because there is continuously degeneration is happening. Okay, so let me write here, degeneration, degenerates. ठीक है, तो कंटिन्यूस डीजेनरेशन की वजह से क्या होता है बेटा, सो नंबर decreases. Now this degeneration might be happen when the follicle is in primary follicle stage. This might also happen when the follicle is in secondary stage. Okay, even degeneration might happen in the tertiary stage. Tertiary follicle की stage में भी degeneration हो सकता है, लेकिन एक बार mature follicle हो गया ना, okay, once the mature follicle is formed, then no degeneration happens. Okay, as soon as the mature Graafian follicle is formed, it is now ready to release the secondary oocyte. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Now, so you can see here, after the secondary oocyte is released, this yellow body, okay, so this is actually the degeneration of follicle happening. ओके देखो बेटा, ये एक टाइप का डीजेनरेशन है, दिस इज कॉल्ड एट्रेसिया और एट्रेटिक डीजेनरेशन. बट अब क्या हो रहा है, वो जो फॉलिकल का काम है ना, वो खत्म हो गया है. ठीक है, फॉलिकल ने सेकेंडरी oocyte को बना दिया, अभी सेकेंडरी oocyte इज आउट ऑफ द ovary, so ovulation हो गया, secondary oocyte is out. Now this secondary this follicle will transform itself into a corpus luteum. Okay, so this corpus luteum is actually called as yellow body. Okay, why it is called as yellow body? Because it has the carotene pigment and the lutein protein. Please note it down, I can't write everything in the slides. Okay, so why corpus luteum is yellow in color? Because it has carotene pigment and lutein protein. Okay, then from corpus luteum it will change into corpus albicans. It will change into corpus albicans. So this corpus albicans is actually called as white body. Okay, why it is called as white body? Because there are no pigments present in the corpus albicans. Okay, now let me tell you one more interesting thing. Okay, so folliculogenesis, let me write here. Okay, so here the most important thing is granulosa cells. ठीक है, यहाँ पे भी वही हुआ है बेटा, देखो ये जो cells degenerate हुए हैं ना, ये granulosa cells हैं actually. Actually there were many number of cells, right? So this green color cells were actually granulosa cells up to the mature graphene follicle is formed. Now it is degenerating, so it has converted into yellow. I told you because of the formation of carotene pigment. ठीक है, तो remember वो दोनों एक ही cells हैं. So these granulosa cells at the time of folliculogenesis, okay, folliculogenesis, it will produce a hormone called as estrogen. Okay, so granulosa cells will produce a hormone called as estrogen. Now, so these same granulosa cells, when follicle degenerates, so at that time what happens? The progesterone is formed. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है? Progesterone is formed. So where exactly progesterone is formed, ma'am? See, progesterone is formed when the corpus luteum is present. Okay, so corpus luteum. Okay, so corpus luteum is actually responsible for release of the progesterone. Okay, so I hope आपको समझ में आ गया मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ. Okay, let me show you here. Look at these cells, guys. These green color cells are granulosa cells, right? So these granulosa cells from here to here, okay, from here up to the maturation here, okay, they are releasing one hormone, that is estrogen. So that estrogen hormone is released by the granulosa cells. You can see there are plenty of granulosa cells present here. Okay, Abhi, after the ovulation, those same granulosa cells will release a different hormone that is called as progesterone. Okay, so this progesterone hormone is released by the corpus luteum and the corpus albicans. Okay, that's what I wanted to tell you. Now we are going to study the structure of mature graphene follicle. Okay, so we are going to study the structure of mature graphene follicle. Okay, look at this. Okay, so these two layers, okay, जो दो layers है ना बेटा, यहाँ से यहाँ तक, from here to here, these are actually theca layers. Okay, so this theca layer is again divided into two layers. You know that. Okay, so these are again divided into two layers. Yes, so I will tell you. Okay, so these are divided into again two layers. Okay, so this is theca array. So this is theca externa and this is theca interna. Okay, so please remember one thing. What are the advantages and the this one function? Okay, so theca interna. Okay, let me write here. Theca interna is actually a vascular layer. Okay, theca interna is actually vascular. Okay, so what do you mean by vascular? Vascular means nothing but it is ready to secrete some hormones. क्योंकि vasculature का मतलब है it contains the blood vessels. If there is blood vessels means it will release the hormone. So what kind of hormone it will release? It will release in the blood. जो blood में जो pituitary hormones आए हैं ना बेटा, pituitary hormones. I hope you have studied this in your last class. ठीक है, युधिष्ठिर सर ने किया था आपको. Hypothalamus will release the gonadotropin hormone, releasing hormone, which will induce the pituitary gland hormone and the luteinizing hormone. Those two hormones will be traveling in the blood. ठीक है, तो वो blood जो है ना, so that is in the vasculature. तो ये जो theca interna है, इसमें blood vessels हैं, so it is responsible for the release of hormones. One thing. Okay, so theca, yes, very good. This is theca interna. About theca interna. Then if you ask me, what about theca externa, ma'am? Theca externa doesn't have any kind of vasculature. It is just simple a fibrous body. Okay, so let me write here. So theca externa is just a fibrous. Okay, so this is just a fibrous structure. Okay, so itna yaad rakho beta. Then, so this is about theca, and then there is this fluid filled cavity called as antrum. You know this. Okay, तो एक antrum है. Antrum इसका नाम है. This is the cavity where fluid is filled. Pallavi, what should I do, beta? What should I do? Network is really not good here, but I'm trying my best. Yeah, as you know, there was a lot of rain and these things. Okay, so these cells, these round black cells, okay, ये जो cells है ना बेटा, these all cells, okay, so these cells, ठीक है, ये सारे जो cells आपको दिख रहा है ना, यहाँ पे, so all of these cells are granulosa cells, okay, so granulosa cells. Now, let me introduce you with the new structure. Okay, so what is that? So new structure is cumulus oophorus. So what is cumulus oophorus? So let me write here. Okay, so cumulus oophorus is nothing but the granulosa cells present between. Okay, these are granulosa cells only. Okay, granulosa cells, they are present between antrum and secondary oocyte. You can look here in the diagram. Okay, so this is antrum. So यहाँ से यहाँ तक. Okay, so from here to here, these cells. Okay, so these cells are called cumulus oophorus. Let me change the ink. Okay, so these cells are called cumulus oophorus. Okay, so this cumulus oophorus will actually convert itself into corona radiata. Okay, क्या होता है बेटा? When secondary oocyte is still present in the Graafian follicle, तब उसको कहते हैं cumulus oophorus. अभी क्या हो गया? देखो ये जो entire part है ना, ये release out हो जाएगा at the time of ovulation. ठीक है, जब release out होगा ना, तो यही granulosa cells आपको corona radiata बन जाएंगे. Okay, if you ask what is corona radiata are nothing but the granulosa cells present in the layer, outward layer of the secondary oocyte. ये आपका secondary oocyte है ना बेटा, तो इसके layering में आपके जो granulosa cells हैं, वो दिखते हैं crown की तरह. Let me show you here actually. So you can see here. Okay, so this structure. Okay, so this structure. Okay, so this is circular round. Okay, so these are nothing but the granulosa cells. ये granulosa cells ही हैं, but वो crown के जैसे दिखता है. I hope you know. Okay, वो जंगल में Cinderella and who is that? और कोई लड़कियां है ना बेटा, Tangled में सब फेरी हीरोइंस है ना, वो डालते हैं ऐसा. Corona means crown like. हमारा हाँ Barbie and all. तो तुम कोरोना वायरस को मत जाना. नहीं सोमो, there is no. हाँ, Snow White also is. Yeah. ठीक है. तो यही cumulus oophorus corona radiata बन जाता है. Okay, so this structure that is present here. Okay, so अभी ये हो गया आपका zona pellucida. Okay, so this red color is actually zona pellucida, and this is the structure. ये सारा जो structure है ये secondary oocyte है. Yeah. So yes, Rapunzel. Yeah, she also wears, right? But Rapunzel has very big hair. Okay. So I hope you have studied about the Graafian follicle completely. ठीक है, Graafian follicle का mature structure देख लिया. अभी हम देखेंगे structure of egg or ovum, or to be precise, secondary oocyte. Okay, precisely if you want to say, it is secondary oocyte. ठीक है? Okay, so let us see here. So this secondary oocyte is spherical and non-motile. So what is non-motile? Non-motile means it doesn't have any movement. Why? Because it doesn't have locomotory organ. Like sperm has flagella. It can move, it can swim, it can jump, it can do whatever it want to do. Okay, but our egg doesn't have any kind of locomotive structure. ठीक है, ये बस ऐसे ही होता है. Now it's says and shape is given here. Then this exactly ovum has 3 membranes. Okay, so it has 3 membranes. So abhi pehla membrane. Okay, important one is actually zona pallidum, guys. Okay, तो remember this. ये जो cytoplasm है ना, cytoplasm of the secondary oocyte and this granulosa, जो follicle cells are nothing but granulosa cells. Both are one and the same. Okay, वही granulosa cells अभी corona radiata बन गए हैं. Okay, तो ये granulosa cells के और ये सारा जो secondary oocyte है उसके बीच में एक layer था. मैंने आपको बोला था that is zona pallida. So this gray color layer is actually called as zona pallida. Now, so between the zona pallida and the follicle cells, or you can say granulosa cells, there is a space. Okay, so this space is called as perivitelline space. ये देखो बेटा ये space हो गया. Okay, so this space is called as perivitelline space. तो zona pallida and corona radiata के बीच में perivitelline space. ठीक है, तो अभी inside to zona pallida there is another layer. Okay, inside to zona pallida there is another layer called as plasma membrane. Okay, so plasma membrane is also called as vitelline membrane. Okay, ये examiners and ये जो paper बनाते हैं ना, आपका exam paper चालू होते हैं, ठीक है? What they do, they will give you vitelline membrane in questions, but they will not give plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is very easy, right? So they will give vitelline. So you will be thinking, what is vitelline membrane? No, ऐसे ऐसे. तो कोई टेंशन की बात नहीं है. Plasma membrane is vitelline membrane. Okay. So inside the plasma membrane, अभी देखो first corona radiata. After corona radiata, perivitelline space. You are entering inside the perivitelline space. You are getting the zona pallida. So zona pallida को cross करके आपने कहाँ पे घुसा? Plasma membrane में, which is also called as vitelline space. अभी vitelline membrane को cross करके you will enter into a pool. Okay, a swimming pool. That swimming pool is called as cytoplasm, or another name is called as oolemma. ठीक है, ये जो साइटोप्लाज्म है ना बेटा, इसके अंदर सारा खजाना भरा पड़ा है. ओके, सारा खजाना, जहां से यही देखो फर्टिलाइजेशन जब होता है ना बेटा, दिस ओनली divides, or sorry, this only combines with the sperm cell and becomes zygote. So that zygote will undergo many cleavage divisions and it will give rise to the fetus. तो इतना सब करने के टाइम पे तो जो फूड चाहिए, जो essential materials चाहिए, so all of those will be stored in this cytoplasm. So it will be having many cell organelles, okay, like mitochondria will be there, endoplasmic reticulum. So all of these Golgi bodies, तो ये सारे क्या करेंगे? प्रोटीन सिंथेसाइज करेंगे, फिजियोलॉजिकल फंक्शन करेंगे, मेटाबॉलिज्म करेंगे. ठीक है, जब तक प्लासेंटा नहीं बन जाता, जब तक प्लासेंटा नहीं बनता तब तक इसी के न्यूट्रिशन में सारा चलता है. क्लीवेज डिविजन्स विल हैपन. Okay, morula will come, then blastola will come. I will tell you that in the embryogenic process. Okay, so this is very important. Now, so you have swimmed in the oolemma of the egg. Now you will enter. Chirant, I will explain this when I'm explaining about the fertilization. Okay, so now inside the swimming pool, you are going to see the nucleus. Okay, so inside the nucleus, you are going to find another part called as nucleolus. Ma'am, in this slide, plasma membrane is returned as oolemma. कहाँ पे लिखा है भाई? देखो, innermost layer, देखो बेटा, oolemma के बाद आता है plasma membrane. Okay, so plasma membrane is the innermost layer. तो ये oolemma के बाद आता है. Oolemma is called as cytoplasm. Okay, तो इसमें confuse, एक काम करते हैं, मैं इसको हटा ही देती हूँ. ठीक है, इसको हटा ही देती हूँ. Okay, so this is cytoplasm oolemma. Cytoplasm के बाद आपका आ रहा है vitelline membrane, that is plasma membrane. So inside nucleus there will be nucleolus, and inside nucleolus there will be a genetic material. So this genetic material will fuses with the nucleus of the sperm and then forms the diploid zygote, which will eventually give rise to the baby. Okay, so this is the structure of egg, or also called as secondary oocyte. Okay, so are you clear with this? So देखो बेटा, there is a clear differentiation between a mature grafted follicle and secondary oocyte. ठीक है, ये जो है ये secondary oocyte है, egg है. ये क्या है, ये grafted follicle है, ये egg का part है. ठीक है, so let me highlight here. Okay, so this is egg. ये egg है. इसका जो structure आपने आगे के slide में देखा है. Okay, so this is this. Now don't get confused. Okay, confused नहीं होना है. Does only one follicle mature every time and are many mature? See, Bhairavi, actually folliculogenesis के time पे there will be many follicles start to generate. Okay, as I have told you here, you can see here, right? Many follicles will start to mature and they will start to make the production of secondary oocyte. But eventually, most of them will get degenerated. Only one will become successful. Okay, Bhairavi, only one follicle will become successful, and that one follicle will release only one egg for 1 month. Yes to इरत है. कितने सब होते हैं ना बेटा, एक मंथ के एंड में, ओके, एट द टाइम ऑफ ओव्यूलेशन सारे फॉलिकल्स डीजनरेट करके एक ही ग्राफ्टेड फॉलिकल मैच्योर, फ्रॉम दैट वन मैच्योर, one secondary oocyte is released in 1 month. Okay, so I hope I have answered your question. Now there's a question on the screen. Okay, which of the following contains a fluid filled cavity called antrum? Chirant, see, the follicular fluid that you're talking about, antrum. देखो बेटा, antrum ना at the time of what is that, ovulation के time पे जो secondary oocyte निकलता है ना बेटा, उस time पे this antrum fluid will help in the protection. Okay, it will protect the secondary oocyte and successfully it will shift to the fallopian tube. Okay, so this is the main function of antrum. I have launched the poll. Please answer in the poll. I'm going to give you only 30 seconds. This is very easy question. I have already discussed this. Very good, Ashwin. See, I know these concepts are a little bit confusing, but you have to concentrate. This is very important as well. Okay, these are very important as well. ठीक है, तो कॉन्सेप्ट थोड़ा बोरिंग है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आप छोड़ दोगे. ठीक है, कॉन्सेप्ट बोरिंग हो, इंटरेस्टिंग हो, कुछ भी हो, आपको पढ़ना है. ठीक है, yes. So I'm ending the poll, guys. I have given enough time. Now I'm ending the poll. So results is somewhat like this. 83% people have chosen option C, and डिक्का दुक्का बच्चों ने B, D and A को भी choose किया है. Ma'am, after releasing egg in a month, which will that follicle degenerate, or that only continues to release egg? No, Pradeep from Mysore. That's only I said. क्या होता है? Egg will be released out. Okay, that remaining part of the follicle will degenerate to give rise to the corpus luteum. That follicle will degenerate to form corpus luteum. From corpus luteum, corpus albicans is formed. From corpus albicans, it will be completely degenerated. Again, from new primordial follicle, new mature follicle is formed. Okay, Pradeep? I have answered your question, Pradeep. Very good. Okay, so which one of the following contain fluid filled cavity? So this was very easy in the tertiary follicle of the ovary. Okay, so tertiary follicle of the ovary में क्या-क्या changes होते हैं? So formation of antrum, okay, and then theca layers divide into two, that is theca externa and theca interna. Okay, these two layers. After that, और क्या होता है बेटा? Secondary oocyte form होता है from primary oocyte. Okay, secondary oocyte is formed from primary oocyte. And then what else? Many number of granulosa cells are originated. Many granulosa cells are formed. Many granulosa cells are formed. So these four functions are important and are happening in the tertiary follicle of the ovary. Okay, so spermatocyte is Not the actually option. Why? Because spermatocyte is found in male and that is happening in the spermatogenesis. So spermatocyte is out of league. Now, primary follicle is very simple. क्या होता है primary follicle में? Primary follicle में nothing but there will be a presence of primary oocyte along with the one layer of granulosa cells. Okay, one layer of granulosa cells. Okay, so here antrum is absent, hence option B is also wrong. So answer for this question is C. Now please name the structure when progesterone is produced. Yashaswini, see, I have written here, Yashaswini, एक minute बेटा. देखो यहाँ पे मैंने लिखा है ना बेटा. Look, please note down this. Yashaswini, see, progesterone is released when this follicle degenerates. Okay, so this follicle degenerates and produce the corpus luteum. Again, from corpus luteum, corpus albicans is formed. Corpus albicans is formed. Okay, so what are these? These two are the structures which actually give rise to the progesterone. This is the one which give rise to the progesterone. Okay, Shaswini, I hope this is clear now. What is the work of progesterone? Children, progesterone is actually called as pregnancy hormone. I'm going to tell that when I'm explaining about menstrual cycles. Menstrual cycle के time पे वही है बेटा सारा hormonal work. Okay, children, I'll explain this. Right now, you just have some patience. Okay. So now I need to give you few important things about a female body. Okay. So please write it down or somewhere note it down. Ma'am, what is the function of albican? There is no function of albican. Okay, it is also help in the this one progesterone the hormone release. That's all, nothing else. Okay, and it is also called as white body. Remember it. Corpus albicans is called as white body because it doesn't contain any kind of pigment or any kind of protein. It's just near to degenerate. मतलब अभी you have started a fire from a paper. तो पेपर सारा जल के कुछ नहीं बचा बोलते हैं ना. That is this. Nothing is remaining here now. It is going to completely degenerate now. Okay, so only function is, ma'am, where will pigment go? It will get dissolved in the ovary. Okay, degeneration means what? Dissolving in the cytoplasm. Okay, or else you can say some of the phagocytes will engulf it. Phagocytosis will happen. तो ऐसा कुछ भी हो सकता है. ठीक है? Now, so the points that you need to remember is in human female, oogonium is very limited. Okay, so oogonium are limited. Not like sperms. Spermatogonium cells will be thousands, and those 1,000 spermatogonium cells will give rise to the millions number of sperm. तो यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं बेटा, सब limited होता है. ठीक है? तो अब एक चीज क्या you need to remember. Okay, so oogonium. Okay, so oogonium arises from yolk sac. Yes, Somo. I'm so sorry. See, यही होता है. पढ़ाते पढ़ाते confusion हो जाता है. Sorry, Somo. Thank you for remembering. Okay, I didn't realize. Okay, so oogonium arises from the yolk sac. ठीक है? So yolk sac से आता है at what time? From 11th to 12th week of pregnancy. I told you, somebody asked me that question. कुछ time पहले किसी ने सवाल पूछा था मुझे. Ma'am, does oogonium and spermatogonium are produced from the germinal epithelial cells? That is totally wrong. Initially, when initially we thought like that. Yeah, Chirant has asked. Initially, we thought that germinal epithelium are the ones which are going to give the germ cells. इसीलिए उनको germinal epithelium नाम आया था. लेकिन अभी new research हो रहा है बेटा. So now, according to the new research, these oogonium cells and spermatogonium cells are actually arise from the yolk sac. ये yolk sac किधर होता है मैम? मैं आपको बताती हूँ बेटा. एम्ब्रियोजेनिक के डेवलपमेंट में तब yolk sac से both spermatogonium and oogonium will arise. So this oogonium will migrate into the ovary. Okay, so this oogonium will migrate into the ovary, migrates to ovary. Okay, so in embryonic development, in embryogenic development. So if you ask me at what time, मतलब कितने महीने का था baby या बच्चा या weeks का था, so this will happen when the baby is in 25th week of pregnancy. So I hope you remember that. I had told you, right? So similarly in males कुछ हुआ था, क्या हुआ था? So in मैं यहाँ पे लिखती हूँ बेटा for your remembrance. In male, actually what happened? Testis descends into scrotum, है ना? तो ऐसे ही कुछ वहां पे भी हुआ था. At what time? From 7th to 8th month of pregnancy. 8th month of pregnancy. So this was happened in male. तो यहाँ पे ovary descend नहीं कर रहा है. Ovary will be there only. Only oogonium is descending. Okay, only oogonium is descending. So similarly, spermatogonium will also descend into the testis. Okay, from yolk sac. Now, Abhi, so I told you that number of egg are limited in the female body. So what are the actual number? Okay, so number of egg in female. So I will give you the number now. Okay. So before birth. So as you know, oogenesis will actually start before the birth. Giant yolk sac is a nutritive structure present in the embryogenesis. Embryogenesis होता है ना बेटा, तब cleavage divisions होते हैं. उस टाइम पे एक पार्ट बनता है yolk sac. ठीक है, तो मैं आपको वो बोलती हूँ. Okay, I will tell you that when I'm explaining about the embryogenesis. Okay, so Harsha, I'm just saying this. The oogonium, okay, oogonium cells. Okay, so these are diploid cells. They migrate into the ovary in the embryonic stage only. ये सब कब हो रहा है? When the baby is still in the womb. All of these things are happening when the baby is still in the womb. Okay, but this testicular descendants might happen when the baby is with 7 to 8 months of pregnancy. Sometimes it also happens after the birth of the baby. Okay, so here testis is descending, that I told you. But here what is descending? Oogonium cells are descending. Okay, so यहाँ पे ovary descend नहीं करेगा. Here ovary will descend, here it will not descend. But oogonium will descend to ovary. Here also spermatogonium will descend. Okay, spermatogonium will also descend. Okay, because spermatogonium are not formed from the germinal epithelium. I hope I'm clear with this. Okay, Abhi, is there any canal for descendants? No, Bhai Ravi, no canal, nothing. Okay, देखो इसीलिए मैं ज्यादा एक्सप्लेन नहीं करती बेटा, तो हम लोगों को क्योंकि क्वेश्चन ज्यादा अराइज हो जाते हैं. देखो oogoनियम अराइज हुआ था yolk sac में, both oogonium and spermatogonium. Okay, so they will arise from yolk sac and descended to the testes in male and ovary in the female. ठीक है, but testes again will descend to scrotum sac through inguinal canal. But इसके लिए कोई descendants का canal नहीं होता है. Descent means convert? No, descent means migrate. Somo, descent means migrate, passing, changing the location, changing the place. Okay. So now, number of the egg before birth. Okay, note it down. So before birth, there will be nearly 20 millions, more than 20 millions. You can take the count. Okay, 20 millions of oogonia will be present in the fetus. Okay, then after birth. So after birth, they get reduced to 1 million. They get reduced to 1 million of oogonia. Okay, so 8 million ban gaya. Okay, 1 million. Then at the time of puberty. Okay, at the time of puberty, this is also given in your NCERT, 60 to 80K. 2 million. 2 million. Sachin, 2. Okay, so 60 to 80K of the oogonium will only present at the time of puberty. ठीक है? तो अभी क्या हुआ? तो फिर इतने सारे किधर गए मैम? फ्रॉम मिलियन से इतने 1000 में आ गए. So they are getting degenerated. Okay, so degenerated. तो इसको क्या बोलते हैं? Atrophication. Atrophication कुछ भी बोलो. Okay, so atrophication. So similarly at the time of folliculogenesis के टाइम पे follicular atresia हुआ था. Okay, तो वहां पे follicles भी degenerate होते थे. So similarly here oogonia is getting degenerated and that process is called as atrophication. Okay, so degeneration. Okay, so similarly, so number of the oogonium cells are going to decrease. Before birth, there will be 2 millions. After birth, it will change into 1 million. At the time of puberty, it will change up to 60 to 80K. Okay, 1,000. Now, so this is about the important facts that you need to remember. Now, one more thing, ma'am. So at the time of menopause, is the oogonium degenerate? No, they will be continuously degenerating. See, this is happening both when the baby is still in the womb. Okay, mother का womb में जब है तब भी होता है. And after the birth also, this degeneration of oogonium will be kept happening. Not exactly at the time of menopause. Okay, so not exactly at the time of menopause, children. It will be happening simultaneously. Okay, yes. All oogonium. नहीं सारे ओगोनियम नहीं मर जाएंगे. See, the menopause का actual meaning is this, children. This is not actually death of oogonium. Okay, this is actually the functioning is not happening. Okay, so there might be the presence of oogonium. Okay, कुछ thousands में hundreds में there might be presence of oogonium, but they are not functioning. They are not functioning. Why? Because वहाँ पे hormones का काम आता है बेटा. Hormones will alter. If hormones alter the job of this, then being present also they won't do any change. ठीक है? अगर present होने के बाद कुछ नहीं करते. Okay, Chiran? So don't think that this oogonium will die at the time of menopause. They will not die. They will be there. But the thing is, hormones will fluctuate. We can find whether the baby is male or female before. But yes, Amit, we can do that. Okay, but that is not legal in our country. So please don't think about it. Okay, हमारे country में legal नहीं है. Okay, yes, okay, Chiran. Now, let me tell you one more thing. Okay, so before understanding, let me tell about hormones. Okay, अभी अब hormones का जिक्र हो ही गया है. तो let me tell you pituitary hormones and ovarian hormones. Pituitary hormones and ovarian hormones. So which are the ovarian hormones? Can anybody tell me? देखो लास्ट क्लास में आपने पढ़ा है ये सब कुछ. You have studied about this. Very good भाई रवि. Come on. Very good. Progesterone. Okay, progesterone is released by the granulosa cells when the follicle is degenerated. Now, other than that, there is another hormone called as estrogen. Okay, so see, I hope you have studied this in the last class. So androgen is similar to estrogen. Progesterone is similar to testosterone. So androgen is the collective term for many more hormones. ठीक है, androgen भी collective term है. For what? For testosterone, for dihydrotestosterone, for androstenedione, and for also dihydroepiandrosterone. तो ऐसे बहुत सारे होते हैं ना बेटा. So I hope you have studied this in the last class. Yudhishthir sir has told you, right? So here also estrogen is the group of hormones, okay, where there will be many hormones present. So let me write here estrone. Okay, estriol, estriol. Then estradiol, estradiol. Okay, this estradiol is actually another variant 70 beta. Okay, तो ऐसे बहुत सारे होते हैं बेटा, many will be there, but this is most common ones. Okay, estrogen is the correct term for these hormones. Okay, so which are the pituitary hormones? Can anybody tell me? Pituitary hormones? Nothing but FSH and LH, है ना? Follicular stimulating hormone. Very good, Bhairavi. Follicular stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. So pituitary hormones actually देखो क्या होता है बेटा, hypothalamus will release a hormone called as gonadotropin releasing hormone that will poke, or you can say that will activate the pituitary gland, anterior pituitary gland, to produce these two hormones called as FSH and LH. Yes, very good. Okay, so these will do a lot of functions, different functions, but you have studied about the regulation of hormones in male, that is different. So we are going to study the regulation of hormones in female also. Okay, because वो बहुत important है बेटा. Yes. Right. So other than this, do you know any other hormones related to the female reproductive body? Any other hormones? Can anyone? Have you heard about prolactin? Yeah, very good, Nandish. Prolactin. Milk production. Very good, Ishaswini. Oxytocin. Okay, these are related with the lactation. That means, okay, so prolactin is actually responsible for the secretion of milk. Oxytocin is responsible for the ejection of milk. Ejection of milk when the baby is suckling up at the time of breastfeeding. तो उस टाइम पे एक suckling reflex होता है बेटा, एक सारा response होता है, एक stimulus होता है वहां पे. I will tell you that when I'm explaining about the lactation. Okay, so other than this, there will be another hormone called as HCG. Has anyone heard about HCG? Ma'am, I have read that oxytocin is the love hormone. When it is released, we feel love. Yes. Yes, Jeevan. That is true. Okay, so HCG. Can anyone tell me its full form? HCG is actually the pregnancy indicator. Okay, so this is actually pregnancy hormone. Human chorionic gonadotropin. Very good, Bhairavi. Very good, Monisha. Good. So, just these are the hormones that you need to remember. There are other also. There is a relaxin, there is an inhibin. Even androgen is released in female body. Okay, but that is really not necessary for you. Itna yaad rakh lo beta. Ma'am, when we eat chocolate also release oxytocin. See, let me tell you something. So, whenever you feel relaxed, happy, मतलब ऐसा लग रहा है कि दुनिया बहुत अच्छी लगने लगती है, सब कुछ अच्छा होते रहता है, आप हवाओं में उड़ रहे हो, वो है ना बेटा कुछ जिबिडोबी सॉन्ग पंपारा, उस टाइप का अगर आपको फीलिंग हो रही है ना बेटा, so that means oxytocin is released in your blood. Okay, so that is what is actually called as you will be in some different world. Okay, it's not like you are drugged. Okay, but एक खुशी होती है. It's a sense of relief. It's a sense of satisfaction. Okay, so the next one. So you can see here for the development of breast, 4 hormones are necessary. Okay, ma'am, dopamine. Yes, Chiran, even dopamine does the same job. Okay, dopamine. See, dopamine is more related with the sexual arousal. Okay, dopamine वो काम करता है at the time of arousal. मतलब it's again a sense of pleasure. Okay, and yeah, even yes, Bhairavi, endorphin, yeah, it also does the same job. Okay, but this adrenaline, oxytocin, they does like a happy hormone. Okay, see, यारो ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು love hormone, so love hormone से ज़्यादा उसको happy hormone बोल सकते हैं. ठीक है, adrenaline जब release होता है तब आप एकदम डर में हो. ठीक है, a sense of shock. See, if you have visited the amusement parks, in amusement park, you are just riding a roller coaster. Okay, so roller coaster mein baithe ho, you are saying, ah, okay, so why that is happening and what is happening, but you are enjoying it, even though it's a sense of fear, sense of shock, but it is also a stress hormone. But when that hormone is released and you are riding that, you will at the end you will feel the happiness. ठीक है, तो एक adrenaline rush कहते हैं बेटा उसको, adrenaline rush. Okay, so that is there. Even that is also happy hormone. Like happy कब होता है? After a stress is released. Okay, मतलब ऐसा लगता है कि अभी मैं मरने वाला हूँ लेकिन बच के आ गया. ठीक है, तो एक adrenaline rush होता है. See these what is that? Adventurers. जो adventurers होते हैं ना बेटा, जो scuba dive करते हैं, sky diving करते हैं, and what is that? Bungee jumping, okay, river crafting, and what else? These kind of adventure activities. So those people will have this affinity and love with this adrenaline. Okay, so adrenaline hormone is responsible for that. Okay, डर का सामना, Mountain Dew. Okay, क्या है? डर के आगे जीत है, something like that. Okay, so estrogen is the hormone responsible for the growth of tubules and ducts of the breast. So I hope you remember there will be alveoli, there will be tubules, and these tubules will join with the duct. So the bigger ducts will be there, then smaller tubules will be there, and this will be the alveoli. So this entire thing will be present in one lobe. Okay, so growth hota hai tubules and ducts by the hormone estrogen. Then progesterone for the growth of glandular buds of breast. See, even though there is a presence of formation of milk, there is also the formation of glands. So these glands will be helpful in the release of hormone. ठीक है, अभी prolactin वगैरह काम करते हैं ना बेटा, तो obviously there is a glandular buds. So those glands will be responsible for the release of hormones. Then prolactin. Okay, milk synthesizing hormones. So prolactin is the one which actually synthesizes the milk, and oxytocin is the one which helps in the milk ejection out of the nipple when the baby suckles. Okay, so this is about the 4 hormones responsible in the breast. Okay, and the development of breast. Okay, guys, see, there is very less time remaining. Otherwise, I would have completed this today. So we will complete this tomorrow. Okay. तो ये हम कल पढ़ेंगे. तो अभी के लिए this question is also not that. Okay, so let me ask you not just like that a question. So can you tell me another name for plasma membrane, and also for the cytoplasm. Okay, so I need answer for this. So answer in the chat box. Meanwhile, I'm launching the NPS. Please make sure to give the feedback. See, mention the number. Very good, Yashaswini. Semi-permeable. Semi-permeable membrane yellow baldappa. Very good, Soumya. Nice. Good. Beautiful. Okay, so don't worry, we are going to start the oogenesis tomorrow. Okay, so I will explain you completely about the follicular genesis in detail with the oogenesis. Very good, Maulya, Sukma, and all the people. Okay, guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the chat box. Okay, so meanwhile, if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the chat box. Okay. So Yes, Gopika, Ashwini and Anu, can you answer? Write the number and then answer. Yes, Latish, it is correct. Likhit, sorry, not Latish. It is correct. It is correct. Okay. So I guess all of you are trying to answer here. I'm so happy to see that. Okay, I'm so happy to see that. Protoplast means, ma'am. Okay, Arun, see, there is a quite difference between protoplasm and cytoplasm. Let me tell you something. Okay. Look, Arun, don't go. Okay, protoplasm is actually cytoplasm plus protoplasm. Okay, or sorry, what? Not protoplasm. Take minute, beta. Plasma membrane. Cytoplasm plus plasma membrane. Okay, right. So sometimes, Chirant, yeah, even that is true. Okay, so this is one definition. This is another. Okay, so yes. So what was I saying? Another one. Okay, तो अभी किसको बोलते हैं साइटोप्लाज्म? Cytoplasm is nothing but what you can say, protoplasm without nucleus. Without nucleus is actually the cytoplasm. Protoplast, cell without cell wall. Yeah, Monisha, you can say that also. So यहाँ पे मैं एक line डाल देती हूँ. So this. Protoplasm or protoplast both are one and the same. Okay, so this doesn't have cell wall. You can say that. Cytoplasm is nothing but it is the protoplasm where nucleus is not present. Okay, so जो swimming pool है ना बेटा, I told you pool है माता swimming pool. That is nothing but the protoplasm, or you can say the cytoplasm. Sorry, cytoplasm. Okay, clear? Any more doubts? Thank you, Arun. Any more doubts? If you don't have any doubts, you can leave the class. If you have any, you can ask me. Yeah, you can write it like this also. Here, it is also minus cell wall. ऐसे भी बोल दो इसको. Plus plasma membrane minus cell wall. You can say it like this also. Okay, but cytoplasm में protoplasm को without nucleus जो बचा है ना बेटा, वो सारा cytoplasm हो गया. Okay, guys, then take care. Bye-bye. Yes, Ashwin, we are very good. Correct. Cytoplasm is actually called as ulema. So let me answer this also. Okay. So plasma membrane is actually compared with the vitelline membrane. Okay. Cytoplasm ka ulema. Okay. So this is the answer. Okay, guys. Then let me end the meeting. Okay. Chalo. Bye-bye.